Gunsinze aliwa bitono, gavumenti yeetonze kwa bibyo ebyatuukawo ku Ssegirinya. Era obubaka munnange mu palamenti bwetikiddwa minisita ow'abavubuka Balamu Baruhagara. Era ono ategeezezza n'agamba nti okwetonda okuba kwetaagisa kulina okuba nga kukolebwa, gavumenti bagisonyiweko ebyo byonna ebyatuukawo ku Ssegirinya, okumusiba ne bamumma bbeeyi kubanga amaloboozi munnange okusinziira ku Balamu agamba agawulidde wonna abantu nga bakaawu nnyo. Ate ababaka ba palamenti beeyamye buli omu okuwaayo emitwalo 3 eri famire ya Ssegirinya bwe bukadde obusoba ndowooza nga mu 15,000. Newankubadde abantu bagamba nti nga butono nnyo obukadde emitwalo 3 waki buli omu yali waddeyo miliyoni. Kale wakiri bali badde bagamba nti baweeyo miliyoni naye nga babasalako ku myezi oba nga 4 egiddiriŋŋana oba 3 egiddiriŋŋana nga bawaayo obitundutundu ne ziba miliyoni ezisobadde ddala eyo mu 5. Famire ebaako kye yeekolerawo. Kakati Sipiika wa Palamenti ye kennyini yabaddeyo Anita Among, era awadde kumpi abantu abawerako omukisa okubeera nga boogera ku Ssegirinya. Nze nno wano ku Uganda at large nkuleetedde bonna ababaddeyo nga boogera byensobodde okubeera nga nkufunirayo buli omu ka statement akatono kaakoze akatono ennyo, at least mu kusiima Ssegirinya ne mu kumusiibula.
Honorable members, if I was not sharing, maybe I would be the best person to give an account of update.
We passed money to construct Lubowa Hospital. We had been told that work would be completed in 2 years. It is now several years after, and Lubowa Hospital still remains a dream. There are so many other Ugandans who lack specialized treatment, but it is very difficult for one to go through the medical council to get the money, and even just the element of getting an airline that accepts to transport a sick person from Uganda. It is very difficult to get that airline to accept to take one when you are sick. Lastly, I want to request colleagues not to join the president in his quest to abolish police bond and bail. The presumption of innocence should always remain, because, Madam Speaker, it is so sad when you have to battle a disease while at the same time battling for your freedom. A whole medical doctor from the prisons gave Honorable Ssegirinya a recommendation that if this man is not let out of the prison, he will suffer consequences that will be fatal. It is so sad that even at one time these people were released and then kidnapped back to the prison. I think this is one moment where you people in government should stand up and say sorry. Right, Honorable Speaker, I stand here as one of the MPs who has been sick most of this term. And I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for standing with us and making sure that we get treatment both locally and internationally. Right Honorable Speaker, some people think that it is fun to travel for treatment, especially people outside there. As much as we sympathize with other Ugandans who cannot afford to go for specialized treatment outside the country, I want to tell colleagues that it is quite very difficult and very challenging to be seeking treatment outside one's country. In certain areas, you are greatly limited by the fact that not every other locality where you seek treatment that people understand the English, and it is not easy to leave one's family and go camp in another foreign country. People end up mocking us, demonizing us, including colleagues, Right Honorable Speaker. That's why I want to thank you specifically for standing with us.
I want to thank Honorable Ssegirinya. He went ahead, came up with a very simple facility just in Chebando here. He even asked me, come and visit my facility. Indeed, I went and visited that facility. People who were going to that facility, they were not only opposition, it was about service delivery.
Honorable Ssegirinya spent a very short time in this house. And yesterday, when I was watching NTV, it was more of a documentary, watching his works and the short time that he was actually in this house. I kept wondering, supposing Ssegirinya had not been in prison, what kind of person would he have been? What more would we have seen? That, or what could he have done beyond what we have watched in just this short time? And it saddened me that the people who elected him did not actually see much of what he would have done for them. I actually want to applaud him and thank him for his dedication and support to the women. In putting up that health facility at Kawempe, he actually also ensured that every mother that gave birth at this facility went home with a box, a SEGI box, a savings box with, I believe, some startup capital. That was support to a woman. I also want to thank him.
Honorable members, clerk for SEGI on that. Who of you have done that?
Even in putting up that, Right Honorable Speaker, he encouraged mothers to deliver at the health facility. And this was actually free of charge. That is actually maternal health. That is support to a mother. I also watched him on several occasions. Can I just conclude? Taking food to the vulnerable, and most of them were actually women. So I want to applaud him and thank him for that. And I want really to tell this parliament, we make laws. Can these laws be respected? Can these laws be implemented? Why should we see people being tortured? When we have the Anti-Torture Act, it's clear that there is torture, and this law must actually be implemented. Access to health care is a right that should not actually be denied. And Right Honorable Speaker, arresting people, can we plead? The police, people should be arrested, but with dignity. It hurts me to see people being thrown under those chairs, Madam Speaker, in pickups, under the chairs, irrespective of who you were. Today, as Philip Bongole Rutaya said, it is me. Tomorrow it is someone else. Let us stand up and defend the Constitution, but also point out some of these wrong things that are being done. The people who are torturing are not government, Right Honorable Speaker. These are individuals who must actually be held accountable.
But most importantly, General Museveni can still do something very, very, very great to the people of Uganda. For this reason, because Ugandans believe Honorable Ssegirinya died because of Mr. Museveni intimidating the judiciary not to bail out Honorable Ssegirinya. Everyone believes that. So let General Museveni at least this time give Ugandans the most important gift and not stand in 2026. I thank you.
Thank you.
I followed closely on behalf of Parliament. Then as leader of the opposition when he was arrested, I followed him and his brother, the Honorable Ssegirinya, through the challenges in prison, falling sick. Ssewanyana, I beg your pardon, Right Honorable Speaker. And the troubles we went through to secure clearance of the medical board for his treatment away from treatment in prison and from within the country. I want to thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the effort. At one stage, the Right Honorable Speaker had to do a money hunt for members of the medical board to convene and clear the treatment of Honorable Ssegirinya. It was tough. It was tough, and we were losing time. We were losing time, and he had to be driven to the tarmac for emergency treatment. Certainly his illness and eventual demise exposed our systems, the state system, as being weak and porous, incapable of a coherent investigation to give a decent man justice, incapable of a decent prosecution, the entire exercise in which he was being prosecuted tainted with a lot of inconsistency, and you could feel a sense of revenge and retribution, this whole thing. And for me, that should not be part of our life. I'm glad the Honourable Minister for the Youth has made a commitment. I want to see you follow through that commitment. That, Madam Speaker, I beg your pardon that I make these statements, that the hunting and hounding of the opposition must cease. The Honourable Ssegirinya had so many friends, and I want to thank his friends who stood with him in prison and hospital. Even when he left prison, and some friends were questioning how he was released, yet they knew he was very sick. That for me was inhuman.
Right, Honourable Speaker, I take the opportunity to thank you so much, together with the Parliamentary Commission, for organizing this special sitting where we are paying tribute to our colleague. Colleagues, death is a fact of life, and when it has come, it has come. We cannot run away from it.
That we shall test you with fear, hunger, loss of wealth, and loss of life. Therefore, death is a test, for which test shall only be passed by those who leave behind in perseverance, and those that retain patience and do good things. Every passing on of a comrade or of an individual is a testimony to those that stay behind, that what shall be spoken about you.
For example, talk about Ssegirinya. What happened when he went to prison at the time he was bailed out? And it's not a surprise. That's why I'm thanking you. Of course, what would the Prime Minister give us here as head of government business? So her absence here is not a challenge on us, because members of Parliament have been with since we began the 11th Parliament. Ever since these two members were arrested, we have always been together. And honourable members, I want to thank you for that spirit across the board.
That in this country, if you dream, you can reach your dream. And that was the Honourable Ssegirinya, who dreamt big, and he reached Parliament as he dreamed. It is so sad that we have lost him. Finally, Madam Speaker, I want to thank you for your dedication to this House. I want to thank you finally for granting an opportunity and for convincing the family, because the Islams normally don't allow this. But you convinced, I think, the family to allow that the country pays this tribute to the Honourable Ssegirinya.
And he said, the little money that I've gotten, I want to put it in this hospital for the poor. So I think, as the Right Honourable Speaker pointed out, we fail to address that. We are all seeking for votes for self-aggrandizement. But you can see a man with a poor background, but thinking about the community.
Constructing or setting up a health facility. That Honourable Speaker, some colleagues give reasons that I'm a first time in Parliament, haven't known what to do. But Honourable Ssegirinya proved that statement wrong. That within few months in Parliament, he had to do something that was very impactful to his people. And lastly, it's about women.
Personally, I visited Chitalia. I visited some of the political prisoners. I am telling you, if you're not strong-hearted, you will not stay there for long. None of us wants to be there. And I don't pray that any of us ends up there. And what you do for yourself, actually, we should practice what we call self-love. If you don't want it to be done to you, don't do it to somebody else.
But when I sat with him for 2 years, I realized something. That the people had another picture of Honourable Ssegirinya, yet who was another person. The Honorable was seen to be doing things crafted like comedy, but he was very serious in nature in doing his things. He was a very intelligent man who could tell you things and those things could happen. He was a genuine man who had that genuine love. For every person, he said that he loves him. He was an ardent supporter of change for this nation. Not because he disliked those who lead this country in person, but their policies, because he grew up as a poor man in a poor family. He hardly spent 2 or 3 years with his father because his father died at a younger age and he was a soldier of this government. And that impacted so much on his brain, being fatherless and the father dying under unclear circumstances.
Ssegirinya passed away fighting for a cause, and that cause is still here for us who are still surviving.
In one of the discussion, and I think together with the Secretary General and the leadership of the party, we asked a fundamental question: what is the National Unity Platform for? And what does it represent? And whom does it serve? It boiled down, what Honorable Speaker, it boiled down that the National Unity Platform was for the downtrodden, for the commonest of people. And we asked, who are the people that represent them? And there was no debate. Honorable Ssegirinya represented what the best of our party represented. And in virtue of that, a decision was taken to give him the party ticket. And from that, he became a member of parliament. So we would like to thank the president of the National Unity Platform and the leadership of the National Unity Platform for taking a bold decision that finally gave us Honorable Ssegirinya.
Everybody has his own line. So, as long as we know that there is God, and there is life, and there is also life after death, I believe that Honorable Ssegirinya, who is lying there, feared God, and as members of parliament and as government, we should know that what we are doing, does it please God? If we do things that don't please God, then we may not have space where we say that we shall be there and life will be better.